first half has come to a close. Well, the top-ranked team in the country certainly has disappointed no one here. Duke leading at halftime, 34-22 over Navy. CBS Sports coverage of NCAA basketball will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Bill, what is happening on the offensive boards? Why can't Navy stop it?
Well, 2-3 zone, you check out in an area, and occasionally two people will be there. You can't have individual responsibility, and Duke very aggressive on the glasses. We'll see here Mark Allery missing the jumper, and Robinson with 2 fouls has to be concerned. Really does not challenge Dawkins as much as I'm sure he would like to.
All right, and Duke has 20 of their 34 points on second chance opportunities. Now, the second game today will be down in Kansas City. That is, of course, between Kansas and North Carolina State for the Midwest Regional Championship. Now for a live report, let's go down to Brent Musburger and Billy Packer.
All right, Jim and Bill, let's first talk about the injury situation here, Billy. How about Ron Kellogg of the Kansas Jayhawks?
Well, he has a foot injury, Brandon. What's so difficult about that? Larry Brown didn't have to use him on Friday as much, or didn't want to use him as much as he had to, and now you only have 1 day rest. It could be very difficult for him to come back and play, and they need him, obviously, from the outside shooting standpoint.
Calvin Thompson with the cramps, he should be all right for Larry Brown.
He should be all right, but when a guy cramps up in a ball game, and again, only 1 day rest, who knows what he's going to do in a game like this?
All right, these two teams played back in December. It was a blowout, Kansas pulling away in the second half, but North Carolina State's improved. Let's show you one of the reasons why. The young man in the middle, Chris Washburn.
You're going to see a move right here that exemplifies what a great athlete he is. At 6'10" or 11, here's a double pump inside in the lane, a good soft shot. There are not many guys in the college level, or maybe for that matter, in the NBA level at that size can make that play.
Ask a pro scout to draft for potential, and he would take either Washburn or Danny Manning, number 1. Manning, of course, is the leading scorer for the Jayhawks, number 25.
Maybe the most gifted all-around collegiate basketball player in the game right now. He's a big guy who plays like a small guy. 6'10", terrific ball handler, great inside shooter. It's just a matter of how explosive he's going to be in this game today.
Larry Brown is favored. Jim Valvano, though, is always there at the end of the game. Let's go back now to Jim Nance.
All right, thank you, Brent. That game, of course, right around 4 o'clock Eastern time, tipping off the Midwest Regional Championship. And we'll have an update on the women's tournament when we continue right after this.
When you buy a Nissan 300ZX, you buy a legend, a tradition of men.
Maybe they have to do.
Well, maybe we'll have to play some man-to-man. They don't like to, and of course Robinson with 2. They're in trouble.
All right, Duke looking good. Again, an 18-2 run to finish up the first half for Duke. They lead by 12. We'll go back to the second half in just a moment.
8 long years of development.
And you're stuck at home again. Next year, there's only one place to be for this basketball classic. Celebrate the Final Four in New Orleans. Find out how to order your 87 Final Four tickets. Write the NCAA or call 913-362-1987. Call today, 913-362-1987, and we'll see you in New Orleans.
This message furnished by the NCAA.
Duke with an 18-2 run at the tail end of the first half with a 34-22 halftime lead. Doug, let's go back to the keys that we talked about at the start of this broadcast.
Well, I think it's important, Gary. When we look at the top of the show, we talked about that Duke needed to shut down Butler and Whitaker, and they need to get on the offensive boards. They have really done a job in both of those areas in the first half.
Well, Whitaker and Butler, look at this. 3 points. They're 1 of 8 combined in their shooting.
Well, they were forced to put the ball on the floor and improvise, Gary. That's not the kind of players they are. They're more players that deal off what Robinson gives them. Duke would not give it to him.
Okay, offensive rebounds. This is another area that Duke has just dominated.
Well, Duke, 18 offensive rebounds to 4 for Navy. I think that sort of tells the story what the defensive rebounds for Navy was.
And look at the second chance points off of those rebounds.
20-4. The difference in the ball game right now is 12 points. So if Navy could get on the defensive backboard, they could get back into this game.
Well, we're going to show you now an example of how tenacious they've been on the boards.
Well, David Henderson shoots a tough shot here. And on the offensive boards, who comes flying in there? The All-American Johnny Dawkins. And he and Mark Allery just killed Navy on the offensive board.
Well, one of the other keys was the key not to stop David Robinson. Robinson has 15 of the 22 points.
Well, he has his 15 points. Navy has struggled to get points from anybody else. If they're going to get back in the game, Whitaker and Butler have to get in the offense. David Robinson cannot do it alone.
Duke is so good at these spurts, as Navy scored only 2 points the last 7-17 of that first half. CBS Sports coverage of NCAA basketball will continue after this message and a word from your local station. Championship, and right now, Duke is torpedoing the Navy ship. Look at this. Robinson with 15 of the 22. Allery was superb. He had 5 rebounds also to go with those 14 points. Dawkins did not shoot well, Doug. He was 4 of 15 from the field. And in the rebounding department, Dawkins had 7.